It's number 3.
Look, I think one of the things we have to get out of our heads is all this kotahitanga nonsense. All right?
The Regulatory Standards Bill will be one of the first things to go.
Here.
It's super awesome that you fellas are here. Tell us what's going on. What's the intro?
O tuatahi mi ana kia koutou Justin tuku koutou ngā tūru Māori, ngā kaiarahi, ka tai mai nei I tēnei wā, I whakarangatira te kaupapa I tēnei wā. E honore nui ki te haramai ki te kōrero kia koutou. Tēnā koutou, tēnā no tātou katoa. Chippy, hei a koe toa. Kia ora.
Tēnā koutou katoa. Kia ora, everybody. Thank you, Willie. Great to be with you all. And can I first of all thank you for the engagement that we've had over the last 3 or 4 years that I've been the leader of the Labour Party, and actually prior to that in various roles that I have had working for Labour, and particularly in the last government. I want to thank you for what I think has been a good, constructive working relationship that we've been able to achieve, and I hope that we'll be able to continue that in the future. Our role here today really is to have a kōrero with you rather than to give you a sermon or a lecture. I come here in the spirit of partnership, wanting to hear from you and wanting to talk about the things that you want to hear from us about rather than deciding what's important to you. I know that this election is a very important one for all New Zealanders, but it's particularly important in light of the polarisation and division that we have seen in recent years. It's been rife around the world for some time. But New Zealand has managed to maintain a spirit of unity in spite of that for a lot longer than many other countries around the world. And it's felt like in the last few years that really has been tested and that has really been challenged. And I hope that we can get to the point where by the end of this year's election, I was told that I wasn't allowed to politics, so but this is as close as I'll get to it.
No. This is all about politics.
Well, I hope, yeah, that's good. But I hope by the end of this election, we can get to the point where we can bring the country back together again. Because it shouldn't be a question of Māori and non-Māori. It shouldn't be a question of migrants versus those who have been here longer. It should be about all of us working together to further the best interests of everybody who lives here in Aotearoa.
Tēnā koe. I'm just going to get into, as we segue into the meaty questions of the day. We just got 3 questions. Random quick fire. You can read up
Pop
there,
quiz.
you can read over there. Mama noiho. Our theme here at this hui is hiki na te kō. Which one is a kō? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Matua Willie, you can help out if you want. You look stumped.
We'll give you a hint, it's not 2.
I clearly have great advisors.
I feel like Matua Willie just goes, you're on your own.
We'll give you a hint, it's not 1, 2, or 4.
It's
So
not
which one
1, 2, or 4.
I'll give you a hint. A kō is a spade.
Gardening.
Gardening tool.
Gardening tool.
It's number 3.
Willie?
You're a great help.
In 10 seconds, 5 Māori iwi.
Mata.
No.
These are for you too.
For you
You can do with them as well, Matua.
Ngāti whātua tainui.
Te arawa.
We put me on the spot like this.
Te arawa.
Ngāti Parau, Ngāi Tahu, Te Atiawa.
Boom. Beautiful.
Ka pai.
Bye. You've done well.
Ka ora.
Now, this next one should be pretty
Ngāti
easy.
au over here.
You've done pretty well. This next one should be
I
pretty
can see my neighbours from Te Atiawa very happy that I got them in there.
This next one should be pretty easy because you're contesting all of these seats. All 7 Māori electorates, e hoa.
Te Tai Tokoro, Hauraki Waikato, Waiariki, Ikaroa Rāwhiti, Te Tai Haruru, Te Tai Tonga, and Tamaki Makaurau.
Nice.
Kia ora.
Ka pai.
Oui, okay. Yeah, you've talked about working together, and through the course of a number of years and even generations, there have been significant advances for Māori, which have been severely impacted in this current term. What is your priority, or how are you going to wind back some of the policies that have been put in place that have impacted on that progression that we've made as Māori?
We could certainly wind back some of the things that the current government have done, restoring the place of the treaty in legislation, which they're trying to undo. That's something that we will absolutely be doing. Restoring the place of the treaty and Māori in our education system, which I think has been seriously undermined by this government at all levels. It's not just legislative, it's in the curriculum, it's taking Māori words out of, workbooks. It's all of those things. We can undo all of those things, so we can absolutely do that. But I think there's a longer term challenge here, which is that we also need sensible voices on the other side of the aisle, and they seem to have been driven out of the parties that sit opposite us at the moment. People like Christopher Finlayson, Jim Bolger, Doug Graham, people who have helped to advance these issues have done that by reaching across the parliament. And there aren't that many people on the other side who I can see reflect those values at the moment. So I think there is a real challenge to rebuild some of that goodwill on the other side as well. And we will try and lead that as a government, should we be the government, because by working together with the other side and trying to find some common ground, we can get more longevity. And I think what I hear from a lot of people is they don't want to see this become a flip-flopping arrangement where, you get a Labour-led government which is more friendly to Māori and then another government that is more antagonistic. We've got to try and find a way of making it enduring.
So, aroha mai bro. We've heard all week, actually, we've been lucky enough to be here listening to all of the kōrero. There's been a strong theme around changing the government, yeah? And in fact, it's actually just blatant. Koere te kōrero. My question to you is, well, we've heard all of these kōrero, we're going to do this strategy, we're going to do this policy, and I'm sure Matua Mook's going to ask that question soon. My question is what is actually the strategy to win the elections coming up? Is it about give you guys the party vote, give Māori Party the candidate vote, give it to the Greens or whatever? Like, what is actually the strategy to win?
To get as many votes as I can.
But Māori are really, really good at splitting votes. We've been doing this for years, eh? So what is actually the strategy?
Yeah, I understand that. The stronger Labour is at this election, the stronger we're going to be in a position to lead a good, strong, stable government. So the more votes Labour gets, the better we're going to be in a position to deliver the change that the country needs. One of the things that I'm very mindful of is this coalition and the makeup of this coalition has badly damaged people's faith in the democratic system. Because you've seen people like David Seymour and Winston Peters holding quite extreme minority views that they've been able to inflict on the whole country with no mandate to do that. And so our next government needs to be in the strongest possible position to stop that, to say to those who, they might, MMP allows for minority views to be in Parliament. And that's a good thing, that's a healthy thing. But it doesn't mean that they should be imposed on everybody else with no mandate to do that. So my message to everyone is the stronger that you make the Labour team in the next Parliament, the stronger we're going to be in a position to be able to deliver more stability.
I can see Willie's mind ticking over there.
What's the strategy?
Te reo taki.
Microphone.
Look, I think one of the things we have to get out of our heads is all this kotahitanga nonsense. All right?
That was going to be my next speech, Willie.
The pedal.
You can all do your Martin Luther King nonsense, but we're under attack as a people. We're under attack as a people. I've never seen a government go after our reo, our treaty, the tribunal like this government. And so I believe that, of course, we want kotahitanga on treaty. There should be one whakaaro on the treaty, one rautaki in terms of the treaty. You can't have we're under attack by our own. By our own. Ko te nuinga o ngā o tēnei rōpū coalition he Māori,
So,
Shane Jones, your uncle Kereama. Yes. But I've never seen it as people know. I've been in the game a long, long time now, you know, not as long as Winston. But when you have the majority of the coalition leadership Māori, they feel they have a mandate. And so we have to get our strategy right. Of course we whakakotahi for certain kaupapa, and people and the groups on the left will gravitate towards each other. But we don't want to be coming together with a group on the other side who are determined to belittle our treaty, our reo, our tribunal.
But it's likely that you will be working with
I was
NZ
going to
first.
say, so get this kotahitanga out of our minds.
Yes.
It's nonsense. So it's vote for Labour and Greens?
Oh, no,
vote for...
we're concentrating on Labour.
So it's kotahitanga?
Whakakotahi mō te rōpūrei. Tika tōko rero. But no, because we have to campaign like that. We have to, you know, and the reality is, as I keep saying to my good friends in Te Pāti Māori, we can't do it on our own. You know, and I know they're saying, oh, we're not into incremental change. That's why we have so much of what we have today.
So what are the three key policies that you're going to push, Chippy, that will benefit the 86 iwi here?
Yeah, the four key priority areas for Labour are around the cost of living, jobs, health and homes. Because those things affect every one of us, Māori, non-Māori, migrant, non-migrant. If people can afford to live, if they have a good job that's well paid, that's secure, that reward, that recognises the dignity that comes from their hard work, if they can access healthcare when they need it, and if they've got a place that they can call home, those are the foundations of them being able to do all of the other things that we want people to be able to do. They can provide for their children, they can make sure their kids get a good education. But if you don't have those four key foundations right, then actually people are missing out.
Pātai.
So one of the awesome dynamics of this rōpu of ours...
You get to hear from the people.
Exactly. So we're going to start with down there, E2.
Kia ora, kiri kua whai, tēnā kōrua. Sticking with your number 4, we've been talking here over the last few days quite intensively about the harm that's been inflicted. And so I want to ask you, what are the 4 key pieces of legislation that you will revoke in the first 50 days, that you, if you were to get in, and that will be the bottom line of any coalition agreement that you sign?
The Regulatory Standards Bill will be one of the first things to go.
Fair here.
The changes the government have made around health and safety laws, people should be able to go to work and come home safe at the end of the day and not lose their life in the process. There will be changes to the RMA reforms, and that will include the role of iwi and RMA processes will be restored. So that will be one of them. And the other one will be the reinstatement of fair pay agreements, which were taken away by this government, because we want people to be well paid for the work that they do, and our low paid workers are being left behind. So there's
Pātai.
Right,
Emma.
you got it.
Tēnā kōrua ko Emma Gardner tōku ingoa no ngā ruahine. Just looping back to your 4 priority areas, one of the issues with Labour in the past is the fact that you look to the state to deliver on those solutions. So my question to you is, do you make a commitment to looking at devolution under those 4 priorities to iwi?
Yes, absolutely.
What was your question?
And actually, there is an area where I think that we can do much better in that, and that is in health. So when I look at the huge amount of energy and effort that was put into establishing Te Aka Whai Ora, for example, and I'm proud to have been part of the government that established Te Aka Whai Ora, one of the challenges there was that it was then undone by a national government, and all those people that put their heart and soul into that got badly burned by that process. A more devolved approach would be harder for a future government to undo. Empowering people who are working directly with communities by giving them the resource. And my own track record as Minister of Education, I think, backs this up. When we worked with the wānanga, for example, we found that the model that was being imposed on them wasn't working for them. Kelvin Davis and I went up to Raukawa, we talked to them, and we came up with a whole different model for governance and for the way that they can operate that was going to work better for them. We do that by working together. We've got to be open to new solutions. Māori-led solutions for the issues affecting Māori communities is something that we're very open to working together on.
And can I also say, if you go back to our 6 years, you would have seen more funding and resourcing devolved to our people than any other time in our history. We're talking, you have a look at the whānau ora pūtia, you look at what happened in Māori trade training. Right across the spectrum, there was more funding and resourcing devolved. Māori housing, as some people here know. Willie Taho knows it better than anyone. He's a multi-bloody millionaire through the Labour Party, you know. I haven't got
No.
for the last
He
2
said he
years.
doesn't take a salary.
But what I want to say is, Willie knows, we had a open pūtia for Māori housing providers of about 700 million. Tama and his mates transferred all that money out to mainstream. So we've got a record in terms of involvement.
One of the lessons we've learned from this government, Chris, is that they have moved with lightning speed to demolish everything that is meaningful for us in law, including the RMA, and a whole lot of other stuff. The problem that we saw from your last government is that you try to push through laws in the last term, right at the end of that period, when you should have done it when you had complete control of the parliament. So tell me, will you move with some speed and some rapidity as you come back in? Is there a 90-day plan?
Yeah, kia ora tuku. I think when we go back to 2017 and then to 2020, I'll do with both elections. In 2017, it's fair to say that Labour wasn't prepared to go into government in 2017. We weren't expecting to win that election. We won that election and we went into government with New Zealand First. So there were two things that went, that were challenges for us. One is I don't think we were well enough prepared with our plans. And the second is the plans that we did have, New Zealand First vetoed most of them. 2020, we had the majority, we had COVID, and again, it took too long to get some things underway. So the brief that I gave to all our spokespeople after this last election loss was we will fight hard to win this next election, and if we win the next election, which is now 100 days away, we will be the best prepared incoming government. That means I want concrete plans ready to go on day one.
Just a final thing, if I may. Infrastructural projects have been the prerogative and the priority of the fat cats of, big multinational companies. Iwi have always said to the governments that we want to be a significant player.
Yep.
We are the fastest growing part of this economy. And so we've been locked out like bystanders over big projects. Never get a look in because people look after their flash mates from big multinational companies. So tell me, are you going to give us a fair shake? Yes. Are you going to allow us to the front line, or are you going to say to us that these things are not up for sale because they belong to the country? We are part of that country. We're not going anywhere.
Absolutely, but this is where I think the current national government, they actually depart from a track record that the national government of John Key and Bill English and so on, they could have built on some of the things that they did. So think about here in the South Island, you go to Christchurch post-earthquake, Ngāi Tahu played a key role in rebuilding some of the social infrastructure there. So when I go and visit some of the public services, they're located in buildings that were built by Ngāi Tahu, co-invested with the Crown. That's a really good model. We should do more of that. There's a huge opportunity for us to do more in rebuilding the infrastructure that we need as a country, working together with iwi as co-investors, co-owners, co-managers, and that's nothing to be afraid of. I always got really frustrated with the debate around co-governance, for example, that it became a bogeyman in the last election campaign, when actually I've seen examples of co-governance delivering far better outcomes for all New Zealanders across the country, and in a way that we should be celebrating, not that we should be demonising.
I just say also that we have I think your challenge is right and fair. I think we've got some precedents, though, Tuku, with our procurement policy, which was never thought about from this government, and they've just cancelled out. We're talking about 900 million that went through Māori business during our time as government, just through our procurement program.
What is the procurement number you fellas are shooting for now? Because was it like 6%?
6%. It was 6%, but we went up to 8%, and we'd be wanting to do those type of numbers. But I think Tuku wants to build on that. That's what he's saying, and I think it's a rightful challenge.
Come over here.
Tini whetu ki te rangi ko rangitani ki te whenua, ko Daniel Harris takawingoa nā uri o rangitani o Manawatu Nation. My statement is this: we are all individual sovereign nations here today. We with our people are masters of our own destiny, and what we do to uplift our people uplifts the Aotearoa nation. We are done with the trickery of Crown history against our iwi nations. My questions are these. In the first 100 days, if Labour is part of the new coalition government, will you commit to the co-development of a framework with us, iwi nations, around constitutional reform to honour Te Tiriti in accordance with the framework of Mātiki Mai?
Probably not.
Ka pai. Will Labour also commit to the co-development of a framework to transfer government vote to us iwi nations so we drive our social, economic, educational, etc. pathways for our uri, as we are the ones best placed to do this, not the Crown?
We'll talk about that, no problem. We won't commit, but we'll have no problem to talk about those sort of kaupapa. Very important, and we're quite happy to engage on the kaupapa.
Ka pai. And finally, you talked about legislation you'll repeal. Can you name another 2 pieces of legislation that directly affect iwi Māori that you will repeal in the last 100 days? Kia ora.
The reality is if they attack the tribunal, we would probably repeal that straight away. We're thinking that's going to happen in the kōrero, or something's going to happen. We would repeal that straight away. I think we've made a commitment in terms of relationships with iwi and local bodies. Anything else that's...
Yeah, I mean, look, just coming back to your question around constitutional change, I think there is a need for constitutional change in New Zealand, but it's important that we bring the whole of our community with us in that process. So, yes, we're open to having that conversation, but it's got to be a broad and encompassing conversation that allows all New Zealanders to see themselves reflected in that.
Thank you for your
More
questions.
questions? Ka haere ki konei helmet?
No. Karawhiua.
Like it in then
Kia
helmet.
ora, kia ora, Willie, Chris, Margaret.
Kia ora, Makiri.
Willie, you and I tried very hard to get a plan ready for the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, but you got sidelined along the way. I think you will see now how desperately important it is that we have that so that the country can actually start understanding why it is we have to move towards the constitutional change you have. Because the country must understand why it is that Indigenous people do have rights in this country. So, Willie, you going to start that work again, Willie?
Oh, no, absolutely. And I want to thank you for your mahi and the contribution and the work we did. Politics always gets in the way sometimes, but I'm proud of what we've done, and I think we need to start it again. So we won't be walking away from that.
Ko te pātai whakamutinga pēr, Jamie gave te Pāti Māori free advice earlier about...
Jamie, there's that other multi-millionaire down on there.
Te pātai ki a kōrua, you've got 86 chairs here of the iwi. Why should they give their vote to Labour?
I want to lead a government that brings New Zealanders together. One that actually creates a reason for our young New Zealanders, whatever their ethnicity, whatever their background, to want to stay here in New Zealand and create their futures here in New Zealand. Like many of you, I see far too many of our young people, our talent, our energy, our future, packing up, going to the airport and leaving on a one-way flight with no intention of coming home. We've got to stop that. And the only way we stop that is by creating a future for them to be part of here in New Zealand. Good, well-paid jobs, working together in a spirit of unity. We can actually create some of those good, well-paid jobs by doing exactly that, by working together on the challenges that we all face. We can be a much better country than the one that we are now. This isn't as good as it gets. In fact, it can be so much better if we work together to achieve it. We're not going to achieve it by the government bulldozing over the will of a whole lot of people who deserve to have a voice in the decisions that are affecting them. I want to lead a very unifying and inclusive government, and that is one of the major pitches that I'm making to you today. Is if you want us to be in a strong position to do that, then give us your support.
Working together, I'm going to come to you, Beda and Akwakene. Working together, an example of that might be working with the iwi. Now, one of the iwi in the room is the co-president of Te Pāti Māori. Iwi.
Vice co-president.
Not about me.
No, but he's saying he's trying to, for his people, the success for his people is trying to get all 3 candidates into Ikaro Rāwhiti in Parliament. Yeah? Now, one could say, I don't know, off the top of my head, Kushla is what? She must be pretty high on the list, eh? So she's in. What did you say? And then that would be a nice little mahi ngātahi sort of example, wouldn't it? Then we get more Māori in Parliament, we get more voices, and that's a nice little example of mahi ngātahi.
Well, can I give you an alternate view on that? Which is Kushla is currently the MP for Ikaroa Rāwhiti. She is a face of the future for Labour. And if you don't re-elect her as MP for Ikaroa Rāwhiti, you'd be sending the opposite message.
It's also about whakapapa. You know, there's a Labour whakapapa. And you're asking us, Willie, to trust all your Māori Party candidates. Māori Party doesn't even trust their own candidates. So why should the Māori nation trust? You vote for this one, they kick their ones out, for God's sake. So I'm saying that you have to. That's just a fact. That's just a fact. And Willie, last time I looked, Tami at JT was still the president, so you.
Oh no, sorry, deputy.
Deputy.
Not my words,
but I think that's seriously, I think it's good that our people are involved politically like that, whether it's Māori Party, Labour, or whatever, because they're there at the coalface, and they work with us. Yes, the best way forward is if we work with iwi.
Yeah.
And we've done it before. Look at all this lineup over here. Look, you got Jamie there, you got Mook there, you got Fire Nader there, and we've got to be careful with her because she gets, she's. She attacks those guys boys a bit, You got Justin, you got our kohanga here, our police here, Enid over here. It's just fantastic. Put it down the end there. He masquerades as a kaumatua in government, and he's running the tribal stuff in Wellington. It's like an inside spy. I see our kohanga whanaunga here, beautiful. And that's how we do it. That's the partnership. Going forward, we've already done it before. Yes. We were making some ground in that 6 years. Whether we like it or not, we've gone backwards. And the dangers, we've got to wake our people up. We've got to wake our people up because we're in danger if this lot gets back in again.
All I'm saying there is that there is an argument to be had that there's a bit of leadership in here, eh? And you could actually take some leadership on this and actually go, e te whānau, anei te huarahi, e mahi ngātahi ai tātou. Bang, 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 do this, do that. We're in there.
Well, we have cordial relationships with our crew in Ropu, Kakariki and Te Pāti Māori, but seriously, we have to concentrate on the electoral vote. Everybody goes, Kushla's up on the list. Well, so is Rawiri and so is Deb. Deb got in as a list candidate. And so we have to concentrate on that. Why do we concentrate on that electorate vote? So there's a flow on in terms of the party vote. That party vote's incredibly important. So we're not playing games. We're just concentrating on the electorate and how the numbers fall. The numbers fall.
Well, look, I'll be very frank with you. One of the barriers to us being elected as a government and the potential pathway for this government to be re-elected is if it looks like an alternative government would be even more unstable than the current government. And some of the stuff that we've seen in the last few months hasn't made that easy for me. So the stronger you make Labour, the more I'm in a position to push back on that.
But voting for the Māori Party, Rawiri talked about the overhang and that if the Māori Party were to secure a high number of Māori electorate seats, that would create an overhang, which is to the benefit of a potential new coalition government. What's your view on that?
Look, I think you win elections by winning the majority of the vote, not by sort of manipulating the system. And that is a difference that I have with the parties on the other side of the spectrum. They're happy to manipulate the system. They're happy to change electoral laws so that potentially tens of thousands of people will have their votes disqualified. They think that manipulating the system is the way you win elections. I think you win elections by getting more people to vote for you.
Well, e tātou mā, kua u tau tātou waka ki uta. Just really want to acknowledge you fellas for turning up. This is an awesome space. We get to have a robust discussion. We get the eyes in the coals straight away. Yesterday we had a whole lot of these going up. Yep. Today we've had a whole lot of these going up. So e mihi ana kia kōrua. And
I didn't see that. I saw plenty of eyes. You're misrepresenting the situation. That's your Pākehā side.
I was actually trying to be nice and saying there was a lot of these before, but anyway. Hoi anō, e mihi ana kia kōrua, ka tuku te rākau ki tō tātou rangatira.
Okay, cool.
Willie, tēnā rā kōrui, whai wai ki te hara mai ki te muru o te ahi tēnei rā, te pōhio ana, e noho tonu ana te pāremata i tēnei wā, hara mai kōrua mo te hawhi haura no te take, tēnā kōrua, just really appreciate you both making the journey for such a small time, but a very important conversation and very important to see the leadership of our political parties here. So ka nui te mihi kia kōrua, tēnā rā.
Just a paku FYI, this video was brought to you by Te Rūnanga o Ngaitahu. E mihi ana kia koutou manaaki tiaki nei I o tātou kōrero, and to the main man, Te Heamana, Mr. Justin Tupa. Tēnā koe o tira tēnā koutou. And e te whānau, if you like this content, make sure to heart, like, subscribe, and also share away. Leave us a little bit of a comment. It's awesome. Ngā mihi.